Today we're going to read The Donkey Who Served the King. And this story is based on the book in the Bible called Matthew 21, verses 1 through 11, Palm Sunday. Deborah and her brother James were playing very hard. They suddenly looked up to see two tall men in the yard. Starting toward the donkeys tied up by the wall, "Could we help you, sir?" said James. "Have you come to call?" James stood up and wiped his hands. Deborah stood up too. What had these men come in here for? What were they going to do? "Your donkeys, son," the first man said. "We've come here to get them." "No," Deborah said emphatically. "James, we mustn't let them." "You mean you want to buy them, sir? The smaller one's our pet. He's growing stronger every day, but hasn't even been ridden yet. He's very shy and timid still. Noises make him fearful." Meanwhile, Deborah, upset, was starting to get tearful. "You'll have to ask my father, but we'd hate to let him go. We want to keep the mother too. I hope your dad says no." "Children, you don't understand." The second man was kind. "The master needs them right away. We know that you won't mind. We wouldn't buy your donkeys. We'd only like to borrow. The master will return your pet today or perhaps tomorrow." "These are the very animals the master sent us here. What was foretold will be fulfilled. The prophet's words are clear. He may have asked your father first, so please, my dears, don't worry." Meanwhile, the donkeys were untied because the men were in a hurry. Deborah quickly dried her eyes. The men had sounded nice. In fact, they looked to her as if she'd seen them once or twice. "The master?" she thought thoughtfully. "Is Jesus Christ his name? I sat upon his knee one time. Is that who? Oh, yes, the same. Of course we'll gladly loan them then. Oh, James, that will be fine. To think the master wants to use a pet of yours and mine." They patted their small animal, the mother donkey too, and rubbed the colt's soft ears again, as he liked them to do. "Goodbye," James whispered tenderly to his little pet. "The master needs you, so be brave and good. Now don't forget." Across the road and down a ways lived Aaron and his brother. As the two men started out, they yelled something or other. Deborah couldn't hear the words, only the reply. "The master had need of them," one said. "Then take them if that's why." An hour or two afterwards, Deborah and James heard suddenly some mighty shouts, and stopped playing their games. They rushed out to the roadway. Yes, coming down the hill were multitudes of people shouting with a will. "I've never seen such crowds before," said Deborah, amazed. "They're shouting out hosannas. Who on earth is being praised?" As they watched and listened to the happy thronging crowd, the singing and praising God came closer and grew more loud. People waving branches of palm trees they just cut down. It looked like they were going to make a pathway through the town. With branches from the trees and cloaks, they spread them on the way. Some very special person must be coming through today. The dusty road was covered now with scarlets, blues, and green. If we're watchful, this person may be seen. "Hosanna in the highest, Son of David," he is called. The grown-ups were excited and the children were enthralled. "Who is it?" But the answer came as he rode into view. Jesus, the prophet of Nazareth, on the donkey that they knew. Hosanna! James joined with the crowd. Hosanna! Deborah shouted. And the master smiled for them, just them. They never after doubted. Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. Still rang the joyous songs, as gradually the multitudes became more distant throngs. To think, the children said in awe, our pet the master rode, Jesus Christ, the Son of God, because his first full load. And that's the end of our story. I hope you have a happy Palm Sunday.